And here we see the teams lining up at the start. Utopia on the blue side. Nice, it fits with their blue camo, which means the Wild Bunch are on the red side, and they have their lovely grey and green camo.
Well, what's peculiar about this map between these two teams, none of them played that best, and none of them played it that much either. So it's kind of a testing phase for both, I would say, because both of them have win ratio below 50% and less than 10 games. Really aggressive start here from Utopia. As we predicted, they're going for the 2 cap there, and there will be some cap pressure in. I really don't know why is Wild Bunch actually accepting for this. Why are they so split up with the forces?
So L-Train and Mr. Keller getting a shot there finally onto one of the tanks from Utopia. It's Hunter they're able to connect into. A player we just said doesn't normally feature in the team, and he is in the team this time round. Daki as well was saying that this is a perfect time to rotate players in Utopia. And in the starting lineup we see Hunter, Z9RD, and Be Yourself. So
Hunter Zord, mate.
Hunter Zord. I'm just going to go with Hunter, and I'm just going to go with Be Yourself. Easier to say.
So Hunter is playing again like good old times for Utopia. Who are we even missing here? Well, Milos is here. And Vielki and Dibel are playing also. There, Shokui and Muka are not there. So 2 of the key players are not playing today.
Okay, so I mean, Utopia, it's not really a pressure game for him. So, as Daki was saying just before we came onto the break, it is a perfect time to rotate players in if you want. It's almost like he perhaps had some inside information, the sneaky little...
Milos.
Milos! That's
Must be that.
probably talking in his sleep.
Wow, all those dirty Skype talks. Well, Dudulinho is doing a spot in the city, and Hunter Zord is pretty much wrecked there. Well, not a good debut after a long time for him there at the moment, but Kiela in the middle street, there is a big brawl.
Milos taking a huge amount of hits as well. Bihu is the first one to drop. Milos now drops as well. Daki is going to have a broken heart at the moment. Wild Bunch actually in control here. Utopia lost 2 tanks. They have another one on really low health. Vilki's getting focus fire now as well, as he might be the next one to drop for Utopia. This is actually going amazingly well at the start for Wild Bunch. They're now sitting 4k health on top of Utopia.
Wild Bunch has a game of their life at the moment because they are wrecking Utopia left and right. Pretty rather easy. There is no focus fire or significant presence anywhere by Utopia players that you could say they can do an overmatch anywhere. Wild Bunch, even Dudulinho is chasing them with a light. Oh my dear.
Papa Power missing that shot on Agorni as he comes wrapping around to get the kill. We see Dudulinho just dueling off against Hunter Z. Hunter Z just unloaded, but he's not going to be able to clip Dudulinho in time. Only 2 tanks left on Utopia, whereas the Wild Bunch have all of their tanks available to them. Dudulinho does drop, but it doesn't matter. Utopia just have Vilki and Diablo left, and they're both on sub 200 health. GG Wild Bunch.
Well, that was a bit aggressive approach by Utopia, but not planned the best and not executed the best.
So, player rotations, Utopia. Nice to see you bringing in players, but maybe if you brought in the players earlier, they might have had a bit more experience. Can't really pin it on those players because, I mean, it is a match that doesn't really matter.
Every match matters a bit, and you don't want to get slapped around. Like, what? I mean, maybe they have especially well atmosphere on the TeamSpeak or something, boosted with some spirits or something, but
they're not
it's still not an excuse.
By what I mean is they're not going to drop any points of position from this match. So, I mean, the players can just go out and have some fun.
No, they will lose nothing, absolutely. We mentioned that before, but still, you need to play well. You need to try to win, no matter what. I mean, this game will not influence any other team in the league, so that's important. That's important because otherwise it would be quite unfair.
Right.
If anyone was experimenting or doing whatnot.
Like Rage Quit yesterday.
There are things that happened in previous seasons like that, and I don't think they were really fair to other teams.
I don't
because
think
if you influence someone's standings by goofing around or whatever, that's not a legit game. No, this is just between them, and they're playing normal lineups, so they can shift the players as much as they want, because these guys probably trained less. It will not look as smooth as usual, like it is.
Well, let's have a look at the lineups for round 2 here, where the teams now swap positions, where we see... Actually, not the lineups. We have post-battle statistics instead to go through. Now, L-Train here coming up top on...
Pretty much one-sided.
Yeah.
We can see this. Wild bunch, wild bunch, and some more wild bunch. And there we go, Yelki and Bihu down below. Second page will be pretty much similar. I believe even Dudulinho had more damage than most of them.
Yeah, so very well played from the Wild Bunch there, coming out on top. Now, the second page, I mean, doesn't really need to go in for information. Milosh farming...
Matters, Milosh 0.
Farming Daki all those fantasy points. Daki.
Did they talk about that over this
I
too?
I don't know what they talked about in the little interview.
Milosh probably told, I'm going to 0 tomorrow just for you. Then.
In their interview, it was, I mean, I saw their interview, it looked very, very close, very friendly. Now let's have a look at the highlights in this battle, and you can talk us through them, Mojo.
Well, this is the moment where Mr. Kela gets attacked in the middle street, but he's already covered. Look at L-Train, he covered him with his HP, armor, angling. And this light setup by Utopia, not really resilient as long as soon as Heavy is approached from the Wild Bunch, they were better positioned, they had a better crossfire all over the place. There was no way out for them.
Yeah, it was a very one-sided battle. It was over within 4 minutes, and the Wild Bunch are able to come away from that one on top. Now, the question is can they repeat it second time round, and can they continue it? Could Wild Bunch come away from this 5-0?
Well, this is Ruinberg. This is the map with like almost 62% defense win rate overall between all teams. So it is much easier to play it like cool here and wait for the enemy and see what will they do.
Let's have a look at the lineups and find out which vehicles are going to be used here. Fairly standard from each side, really, Mojo. Nothing stand out or nothing special.
I could swear that T54 Lightweight had a different icon. That awfully looks like a leopard.
T54 Lightweight is hiding as a leopard there.
It's a Sheningas here.
We perhaps shouldn't highlight that because right now somebody's probably not happy with themselves at seeing that little whoopsie. But yes, moving swiftly on. Standard lineups, it is a T54 Lightweight that the team will be using despite the icon showing something different.
Well, unusual thing is Grille in attack with the Wild Bunch. I can't say I really like it because you have to fight a lot, so he would get some position so he can shoot. But we've seen Valdir will probably play it, and he plays it well. And from Utopia, we have his nice defensive vehicles for this map.
So here we go, jumping into the action where we now have Utopia defending, Wild Bunch on attack. And you can see that Utopia have rotated out a couple of players again. And Wild Bunch are sticking with the same amount of players, or the same amount, the same players, shall we say? Oh, Mojo.
Well, the only guy we don't see at the moment playing, it's Hunter Zord. No, he's not there anymore.
No Hunter Zord and no Be Yourself. Muka and Shoku are back in.
Muka is playing.
Same with Shoku.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Wild Bunch is pushing through the center, but Kela is taking a pounding already. Those FV heavies are nasty when you let them shoot at you at distance. Very accurate guns and great DPM. Kiki Mercat, he's trying to proxy these guys, and he does it pretty well, but honestly, there is no one who can shoot them at the moment.
So Mr. Kela in the middle of the road here, we see Kiki Meerkat in a crossfire now as he's got the Batchats that can shoot him there, and he has the tanks in the town that can shoot him. He doesn't really have a safe place he can go to. Now, Bihu has taken a shot, but Kiki Meerkat's taken at least 2. Mr. Kela has taken a whole load, and he's 113 as he was driving down the middle. Milosh looks like he's going to come up and just finish off Mr. Kela from the rear.
Milosh is coming there, and Agorni actually pulled away. He's still monitoring this street, but as he's positioned here, actually Milosh could just cross the road in full speed and attack Mr. Kela from another side. It's really questionable that Valdir is really aimed that way, but it doesn't really matter because Bihu can end him from that corner position on K0.
Bihu and Mr. Kela were trading shots out. Milosh gets a shot now across into Didalino as we see Agorni getting shots into the rear of Milosh. Diablo looks like to be the next one to fall for Utopia, so that's a tank-for-tank trade at the moment, although the Wild Bunch have lost 2. They've lost Dudalino in their 1390, they've lost Kiki Meerkat, and they've lost Mr. Kela. Now we see Phenomenal getting shots, and looks like Utopia are wrestling back control of this map.
Well, the Wild Bunch is in a tad of a problem, as you would say, because everyone is in reload except Valdir, and they are getting boxed in this tiny little area, and there is a lot of wolves coming around to pick up the pieces.
Wild Bunch just stuck in the corners. We see the tanks from Utopia rolling in and just picking their targets. Valdir getting damaged, L-Train getting damaged. L-Train's going to be the focus here. So he's going to be the next one to fall for his team. Straight away he goes down. Valdir goes right down behind him, as does Phenomenal. Argorny is the only one left for the Wild Bunch, and this is going to be a nice comfortable win for Utopia, Mojo.
Yeah, Utopia was like, okay, we had fun one game, now we play business.
Yes, very much like, okay, like, well, let's, that didn't go quite as planned, so let's go back to the serious business play.
So serious business paid off, and they have 7,000 HP extra on Ruinberg defense.
Yeah.
That's quite a surplus there. They can export in the next game maybe, but now this is done map, 1-1, and pretty comfortable defense for both teams.
1-1, we've been here, I think, before between the Wild Bunch and Utopia going into Ghost Town. What would normally happen now is there's going to be a rush cap from the Wild Bunch that Utopia don't deal with.
Well, you will never know. We will see that on Ghost Town. I mean, Ghost Town can be really peculiar map lately, especially because even a lot of teams are adapting to different tactics and using new tanks. But let's see what the guys did in this map.
Yes, let's have a look at the damage done here. Top damage coming out from Bichu and then Agorne.
Bichu doing almost 3k, but you can see the lack of Wild Bunch guys. Obviously here, Agorni and then Valdir down below, and then everyone else on the second page. Even Papa Pavian with light tank is here.
Yeah, top 7 damage dealers, or top 5 out of 7, all there from Utopia. Now on the next page, obviously it's going to be reversed with the Wild Bunch, and then the 2 from Utopia in the middle. Mr. Kella didn't really do much at all in his 1-1-3 other than take hits. 5 shots out, didn't connect with any of them. Dudelinho, even less record, although for some reason he places higher than Mr. Kella. Diablo not doing a lot there in his FV215B, but still his team picked up the rest of the damage.
Well, this is already when they are capping, but Kella is pretty much wrecked from the crossing there. And there is no really anyone challenging those budgets in K0 corner. Like, entire action by the Wild Bunch doesn't seem very well prepared. The angles they're covering are non-existent, and this is how it ended up. Really, well, this is really even sorry display to see when you get boxed in a corner like this. Never seen it actually.
So Phenomenal trying to run away there. Agorne, last one alive, but it goes down so quickly. Utopia finishing there with 6 tanks still up, and as you said, just under 7,000 HP on the board, which is a heck of a lot. It's a very convincing win for any team.
That's like almost 4 full tanks untouched. That's pretty much.
Yeah. So, did Wild Bunch get lucky first time round, or was it just, you know, Utopia not playing to their strengths? We'll never really know unless we ask them afterwards.
We can always blame it on the lineups, but win is the win, and
Yeah.
who you come with, that's who you play with.
Yeah, we say take a win any way you can get it. Daki was saying he didn't want to call it what Ragecoat were doing it yesterday. He didn't want to say cheese, because if you're taking a tactic and the enemy team, if it's an obvious tactic and the team don't react to it, is it really cheesy? Is it really the enemy's fault for not being able to
Every
deal with
tactic
it?
that wins is valid one at the end of the day.
Okay, so let's have a look at the lineups for Ghost Town, Mojo, and we're going to have the Wild Bunch attacking with Utopia defending.
What's with Leopards? They're multiplying. Is this Pac-Man?
Okay, so we still have...
Okay, really standard lineup here for the Wild Bunch. 2 T10 tanks. They're usually using them for the cap, and I7 can boost it, and some 57s for cover. Now, we have in Utopia a much lighter lineup that we are used to. And 2 tier 9 budgets that we'll probably use for rotation together with that T10. And I'm really interested actually, how do they plan to just stop the Wild Bunch if they just charge into them? Because Wild Bunch actually has really much more armor.
So to avoid any confusing, it is T57 heavies there, despite it being the leopard emblem. No idea why that's happening, a little bit of a whoopsie there. But the Wild Bunch Mojo 2 T10s as well we see getting used.
Yes, so they're capping pressure tool together with I7, and as you said, a lot lighter setup by Utopia that can maybe flank Wild Bunch, but can be really bad if they're in close combat.
Well, let's find out how these tanks are going to be used as we can jump into map number 2, which is Ghost Town.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
Okay, here we go, Mojo. Now, the lineup of the Wild Bunch to me speaks volumes of we're going to try and do a base 1 cap. How are Utopia going to read this?
Well, Utopia already read it because they, by their spotting, didn't see anyone. So they're just positioning their tanks so they could flank and decap. Interesting thing is here, Be Yourself is playing again and Hunters or so Utopia is having a good old time. And they may go for the tiebreaker after all. Hunters on their B who are flanking from the J line and they will go from the back of the Wild Bunch. It is crucial for them to actually arrive there on time, so because the guys from the front will not have a decap shot.
Yep, I don't want to point any fingers here, but if Utopia lose this one, there is a common thing here. And actually, look at the naming of Be Yourself. I don't know if you can see on the screen, but for some reason, some of his letters are missing from his name. He's B-O-R-S-L. Milos actually the first one to take damage here with Diablo as well. Now there's a wraparound.
20.
Papa Powan, a Hunter, and another tank coming round, but we're down to 16 seconds. Come on, guys, I was joking about a quick cap here from the Wild Bunch. They're waiting on the wraparound here from Utopia. We're going to get down to 5 seconds, and that's when the reset's going to come, no doubt.
You may be joking, but they were not.
Guys, come on. Don't do this, Utopia. Really, don't do this. Utopia? Really? What? Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Well,
That worked well, right?
Utopia. Just consider this for a moment. You lost the first one there in Nuremberg when you added in 2 new players. It's good to give them experience. We joked about, well, you know, Ghost Town TWB could do a rush cap. That...
It was totally unpredictable tactics by the Wild Bunch, because every time the Wild Bunch enters the Ghost Town, everyone has a lapse of memory, and they just get deleted by the Men in Black, so they cannot remember that every time Wild Bunch comes to Ghost Town, they kept the enemy.
It's like, hey, Utopia, look into this. Don't worry about TWB, they will not try and do a rush cap for you on Ghost Town.
Well, it looked all good, all 90 seconds that it took them to cap it, without being challenged by anyone.
Now, I actually spoke to someone before the cast today, and they said, what happens if anything's surprising? And it says, I'll probably lose the plot and throw my paperwork in the air. The only reason I haven't done it before is I now have no idea how I'm going to pick it up, because we're in front of the camera all the time. So anytime there's going to be a long cut with the camera, I'm going to try and run away and pick up my paperwork, unless some kind person can come through from the production room and do it for me. Yep, get Daki through to do it. So, stats, top damage, Mojo, who do you think it was? Apparently Phenomenal managed to land some shots there.
Phenomenal was sniping from that defilade behind the tanks. So he was probably sniping on Be Yourself, who was approaching there with a heavy tank. And I believe that's a major bulk of his damage. Maybe he did 1 or 2 or Milos either. But that's about that. I mean, well, stats.
Yes, that was the stats. That was a rather... well, surprising match, so we say. We can just stick that one up as a highlight for the best plays of the week and just include the entire match, because it's going to be a very short highlight, isn't it?
Well, so far, Wild Bunch is doing good for themselves, because whenever Utopia shows them something, some part, I mean, they just take a whole arm. So, Wild Bunch can be happy with this. Utopia can present themselves in this match as well as they wish. I mean, if they want to play like this, why don't they play 7 butchats? It would be entertaining.
Indeed, yes. Funnily enough, we don't have any highlights from that match, ladies and gentlemen, other than just a camera looking at the cap circle, watching the time countdown.
No one had time to press the button to record anything because it ended before it started.
Highlight, you ready? What? Wait a minute, I'm not even... Well, the game's finished? Okay. So if we do get to tiebreaker, at least we know which team is going to get the pick first then. I doubt we're going to see a quicker cap than that.
No, not possible.
So, Utopia, they're now going to attack, and the Wild Bunch is now going to defend. pretty sure Wild Bunch are going to be watching for a swift cap from Utopia.
I think they will position around it and prevent it for sure, because you are always mostly scared of some things that you do yourself.
There wasn't even an attempt to do the reset.
There was one, I think that 100 damage from Be Yourself probably hit some of them, and that was about that.
I'm lost for words. I am absolutely lost for words, to be honest. Now let's look at the lineups going into round 2 here on Ghost Town. 3 E100s coming out of Utopia, Mojo.
Well, that's interesting. This is more or less like what Ding likes to play. They just take 57s mainly to par with it. But 1390, I don't know why that. Usually you would take 2 tier 9s for more damage. But Utopia likes to play more mobile with some tanks, so that's why they took 50 Bs. And Bachat, I guess they're more comfortable with that. Wild Bunch on the other side, well, again, 2 tier 9 Bachat, same as like Utopia. But those tanks are really... We've seen many teams play with them in defense, like Oops example, and even Gohard, I think. It never ended really well.
Yep, now I can tell you that there's been team substitutions once again, and Shoku and Mocha have stepped back up again, and Be Yourself and Hunter's Zord are not in the starting lineup here. So, Utopia, what kind of team performance are we going to see from you this time when you're on the attack? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the match and find out as we go into round 2 here on Ghost Town. Mojo, what's your predictions?
Well, Utopia, if they're playing it normally, they will go with E100s down on the lower part of the city and press from there, because they will have a huge advantage in HP. Of course, there are guys who did it differently. Even Ding did it differently. They pressed through the middle one time, did the cap pressure there with rotations, but it looks like they want to even maybe pressure the one cap, which would be highly unusual for this kind of setup.
It's the E100 sticking together like migrating buffalo or something here as they're stalking through the
Elephants
town.
is the correct word, mate.
Elephants, yep. Looking for something to feast on. Wild Bunch spread out quite thinly across the town actually here. They're not really in a defensive line ready to get a fight. They're not covering base 1 at all, as we see a cap being started by Shoku and Papa Powan.
Well, as I expected, they expected also those tanks to come from the lower side, but Shoku and Papa are doing the cap pressure here, and there is no one who can actually challenge them, because Wild Bunch neither boosted anyone, nor they have anyone covering Mr. Kella. This is something that Wild Bunch did actually before, and it did not end very well for them.
Dear God, please, not another cap like this. Shoku hiding behind the buildings, Papa Powan down in the defile, rocking back and forward to avoid shots. Mr. Keller, the only one who can do a reset. Papa Powan runs away. Valdir taking a massive hit in the middle, as along with Kiki Meerkat as well, as Valdir's the first one to drop. Now we see the fight starting to happen in the middle as the rest of the Wild Bunch come round, but Utopia are just letting them run into their guns and turning and focusing on them. They've even left the cap circle as Mr. Keller has to come running in from the back to try and help his team do damage. L-Train's being focused now. He's going to be the next one to die. He's lost a driver, he's lost a gunner, he's lost his health as he goes down. And Mojo, this looks like Utopia just set a trap.
It doesn't look like Wild Bunch even has a response for this, because their damage is sporadic all over the place on different tanks, but there is no focus fire now. They will be in reload with those clippers, and what now? Now this will be a game over within 30 seconds, I guess.
Papa Powan chasing down Phenomenal here. He has one more shot, but Phenomenal gets away. We see Kiki Meerkat now dropping. Phenomenal has a sliver of health. Oh, he has a one shot left in him at 365 health. Agorne's now down to 180 health. Now he finally drops. Mr. Keller has 1,090 health, but it's only him and Phenomenal left in their team. Utopia with 6 tanks again. This looks like a repeat of map number 1, Mojo, and I hope it's not going to go this way for the entire series of maps.
Well, Phenomenal is doing a little Olympic circle here, but I don't think he even has enough shells in that tank to do enough damage needed to kill everyone, even if they just stood and let him do it.
Probably wouldn't have enough time even going through the reloads as well, even if they just turned and left their back armor to him. Papa Powan going to come in here, Mucka going to come in here. They're just going to seal the deal. Papa Powan actually trying to go for the boost to get height on him. It's Mucka that gets the kill. Utopia finished this match as well with 6 tanks left.
And 8,000 HP extra.
Big difference to how round 1 went. We're seeing 2 completely different Utopias here each time, Mojo.
We've seen them all over the place with different players, but when they play, they just win with 7 or 8,000 difference in HP. And when some of the guys have good old fun on the map, it doesn't end up that well. I don't know. I hope they are having good time.
Yeah, definitely. That's all that matters right now, to be honest, between these 2 teams. As long as the matches are entertaining, as long as they're having fun, as long as the viewers are having fun.
Well, at least they're not long, no matter what.
Yes, at least they're quick matches, that's for sure. Now, top damage, where do you think it came from, Mojo?
Damage? Shuku.
One of the E100s, I would say. Let's have a look and see where it came from across both teams. Milosh.
Oh, Milosh always.
Daki's Bay. Can never count out Milosh if he's in the team. Although we did see him come last in the first round on Runeberg, so he has his ups and his downs. Top 4 damage dealers, though, all coming from Utopia, Mojo.
I mean, it's pretty obvious because the Wildband just came back in there with that light setup and they ran straight into E100s. Valdir got deleted from the map in first seconds of the fight, more or less, and then they just kept pressing. Wildband got stuck behind corners and they had nowhere to run, nowhere to move. The crossfire was pretty negligent and not really an effective one. I mean, when you have 3 100s pushing one corner, it takes quite a lot of things to stop them.
Okay, now let's have a look at the highlights here. This is where Valdir takes a massive amount of shots coming in, and then right after him, Kiki Meerkat goes down. Valdir gets deleted. I mean, it's all pretty much over already at this stage.
I mean, look at the amount of HP, armor, and guns compared to what Wildband had to put there. It's not really. It's like heavy cavalry versus infantry, something like that. I mean, they just got stomped.
Wellbunch at the moment only left with 3 tanks. Mr. Kellis still has a lot of HP, but he comes in bit late into the fight, and Utopia finishing up here at roughly with about, I think, 7,000 HP by the time it's all done, because that final couple of shots that comes into the last 2 tanks. So yeah, finishing on 7,700 HP, and they finished the win that they had on Runeberg with roughly about 7,000 HP. So in a way, you kind of feel like they're toying a little bit with
Not very
the Wellbunch.
Not very respectful.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys, either play serious or don't play serious. But to lose both rounds so easily, but then to win the other 2 rounds so easily, it feels like it's less on the Wellbunch's performance and more on Utopia.
Well, the both losses were pretty legit. I mean, in the second game they got kept, but the tank pick from the start they took was flawed. So it was not even how they played it. Like, they went from the start. You didn't see anyone waiting or doing anything wrong. They were just completely outplayed, you could even say, because the start was flawed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fair point. Now, we're going to go into map number 3, which is Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf is since today the most played map again. It was Ghost Town, but it's again Himmelsdorf.
Yep. Now let's have a look at the lineups for each team. Utopia defending, Wildbunch attacking. Now, are Utopia going to lose this one again? Are they going to lose the first round of a map, or are they going to win it?
Well, we will not know that. Wildbunch playing with 3-1-1-3s, we said there is an option always to put there an extra 50B or on Grille. That's kind of a meta for this season in attack, and Utopia in defense. Having a Gaius 3, that's a posh tank to take in latest matches. Again, after a long time, it's usually just left to die on the upper cap. That's considered a good trade, I guess. And they have an FVTD-183, the Baptizer. If he manages to do some shot like Camille in the last match we've seen him, he can really turn the game around. So 1 shot for 2k damage is usually what's needed from that TD. And to be done within a fight, and not when everyone else is dead from your team.
Okay, it will be interesting to see how the tanks perform this one, and more really how the players perform. And something else interesting as well is what players are going to be showing for Utopia. Now, Utopia have been rotating their players into their team right now to play against the Wellbunch, something they haven't really been doing all season. We've seen Hunterzord and we've seen Be Yourself coming into the team, who haven't really featured much.
I haven't seen Be Yourself in a single game till today. And Hunter Zord, as I said, he played exactly one game, as far as I remember, before this. I mean, he was their old school player, I remember him. But...
So is it Zord?
Hunter Zord, yeah.
Okay. So we're ready to jump into action here on map number 3, which is going to be Himmelsdorf. So once again, there's another team substitution here for Utopia, as we see Vilki dropping down and Forbidden stepping up now. Yes, now the match is underway here. Utopia on the defense, Wild Bunch on the attack. Mojo, talk us through this one.
There will be a restart, guys, because there is a wrong timer in the game. We apologize for that. We will be back quite shortly with the match. I guess Utopia weird lineups are affecting everyone here.
Yes, we have to sort a little bit of whoopsie right now. Once that's sorted, we'll get the battle started underway once again. So many different things changing right here, right now. Well, how do you see this one going, Mojo? Who do you think's going to win this one?
Considering the Utopia is defending now, I mean, Himmelsdorf was never their best map. It's like around 50%. They play it all the time. They had their ups and downs. They play it usually really light, and they really beat them sometimes heavily, because if they get caught on a bad rotation, they really get annihilated. We've seen Ding when they push them on the rail. They didn't expect it. They even sent 5 tanks down. 5 tanks down, and Ding still annihilated them with just perfect positioning and cover fire.
Yeah.
And it's not even a new tactic. That tactic that Ding played, that was something that was used in previous formats, even in previous seasons of Tier 10. The positions and standard is just no one expected, because it wasn't done recently in our region, and it's a really risky but brutal tactic.
Yes, so let's find out if they've learned from their lessons, as we can now jump into the battle here on Himmelsdorf for round number 1. Everything's ready to go. Counters coming down from 10 minutes. Wild Bunch attacking and Utopia defending. Mojo, we're going for the rails, it looks like, for both teams.
Well, I mean, Utopia, with that lineup they have, they cannot really go that aggressively toward the rails, and that FVTD is kind of in a problem there, because he cannot shoot through the all obstacles that exist there. Yes, if he uses an AP ammo, but then he does like only 1k HP compared to 2k that he can do easily to anyone like this. And the Wild Bunch, they're just spreading around and waiting to maybe catch off a possible spotter somewhere.
So Milos getting the first shot out there against Valder there, 113 on 113. The rest of Wild Bunch coming around here at the bottom of the map. Now there's a push down the Banana Road as well, Mojo.
This is something Utopia did before several times, but not exactly like this. This time they entered from the Banana, and they left Papa and in IS3 to defend the rail and signal them if he is getting rushed by dying probably, while they're actually gaining control on the remainder of the map. Now Dudo, he has no clue that 250Bs are coming upon him. He will peek any second now. I'm really curious, will he actually see them on time?
He's going to actually
the
drive.
50Bs.
He's driving towards them. He's going to be like, oh, nuts! They've got shots on him. Shoku, first one, Shoku misses. Connects now. Dudelinho, he's on fire. He's on fire. And he goes. Shoku gets the shot in there. Poor Dudelinho just driving away there in a ball of fire.
This is a big info for the Wild Bunch now, because they want to push in, but I don't think they saw both of these guys actually here. So they have to commit a lot of forces to gather up and fight there. Milos will have a crossfire, but those 50Bs will be there very shortly, in a couple of seconds actually.
L-Train, Phenomenal, and Mr. Kella wanting to get the wraparound here onto Diabo there. A big missed shot coming in there from over the shoulder there. Diabo was able to background into the corner as Bihu's getting crossfire shots down from his perch position up here on the hill. Valder taking a huge amount of damage there. Now, Diablo's still able to get lots of shots in there. He's in a good position to actually get crossfire shots, as we see other ones coming across from Papapao, and Forbidden and Milosh as well are going to come round for the shots. Mucka gets dropped now from Argorni. Mr. Kella gets the kill on Diablo, but the Wild Bunch have taken a massive amount of damage here from the crossfire of Utopia. But one thing Utopia are bad for, Mojo, is they are bad at courtyard control.
Yes, but still they're doing fairly well here because Miloš and the other guys, they all had crossfire all the time toward these guys. I mean, Utopia guys from the 8th line just pulled away on the courtyard. So Wild Bunch, if they want to damage them, they would take damage from everyone in their team. And you have still Forbidden here, and Papa Pavian came even in his tier 8 from the rail. And the ending is here. The Wild Bunch has only 2 tanks remaining. They will be shortly out of the reload. But look at the amount of guns on Utopia side and HP.
And it's all over for the Wild Bunch, as finally Utopia can step ahead of them and start leading the points for once. Phenomenal. Left down to 4 shots, but using a 1 shot of Miloš or Bihu can take their shots as they do. All we have left is Argorni left up here on the hill. He's going to get a couple of shots into Bihu, then try and run away, but Miloš is going to chase him down up and over that hill. Shoku might turn around at the bottom of the banana road because it's just going to be a little chase around the map here as they try and find out where Argorni is running to. Miloš is going to get a shot of him onto him. Didn't track, he did go for the tracking shot. He's going to try again. But he's not going to reload in time. And the rest of Utopia are going to follow him up the hill. Not sure that's the brightest idea, Utopia, because obviously the first thing Argorni is going to do is just drive over the hill and go right down the other side.
While we are filling this period of time with intermezzo and commercials, while they're chasing Argorni, you remember when I said their win ratio on Himmelsdorf is 50%?
Oh, Forbidden's going to the Haiba hill. Oh, he gets over it safely. Very dangerous place there sometimes, Mojo.
Out of 32 games, Utopia has exactly 50% in both attack and defense.
Wow.
That's a lot of games.
Argorni playing the old rope-a-dope, trying to see if anyone's going to follow as he comes around the other side. Miloš is up there in the 113. He has other tanks available, and Miloš picked the right road. And Argorni's like, ah, nuts. Oh, big hits going in. Oh, there's a crossfire. He gets the kill on Biku. Biku's like, wait a minute, Miloš, I'll come over and save you. And there's the shot coming back around, the deflection as well onto Miloš's armor. And there we have it, GG, Utopia taking that battle. And now they're ahead 3-2 against the Wild Bunch.
It does look they stopped playing cat and mouse a bit, so they played more serious, and then we had a point coming from this side.
Right in, yep. Oh, from that side in.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, it's different when you watch
It's
it.
reversed, yeah. It's awkward. It's so
Mirror
like,
image.
put my left
Mirror
hand up
image.
and it's actually, yeah, it's confusing.
Mirror image.
Yep. Now, I think Utopia should just be able to start sealing out this round, to be honest. They should be able to take Himmelsdorf again, and that'll make it 4-2, and then they'll finish off on a win on Mines.
Well, that's what everyone probably hopes, except the Wild Bunch, but we will see. I mean, if they keep shifting players again to their guys that didn't play entire season. I mean, Wild Bunch is not some kind of really wimpy team. You can just swoop around with anyone you just pick up. They played this entire season and they got plenty of experience. They fought against best ones and brought some of them really close to defeat. So you cannot just play around with them like that.
Well, let's have a look at the stats to see where the damage came from in that battle. Top of the table once again is Miloš, M1LO $Z.
Dollars. Well, dollars are flowing his way because he is already in top 2, so they will take almost top bucks from the offline period.
And an important thing to note there is he's done it in a 1-1-3, which is a single shooter, and you had multiple autoloaders in this battle.
Well, considering last time we watched him on Mines when they beat Oops, he did almost 5,000 damage with that 1-1-3. Nothing is out of the reach.
That's an insane amount of damage, actually, to be honest.
I think he did 4.7k. Some shocking amount of shots.
Forbidden coming in there first time round today. FV215B connects with 1 shot, only got 2 out.
Dudolinho.
Pardon the pun, it's a very hit or miss tank taking that one.
Dudolinho spotted them coming.
Yep, Dudolino spotted his incoming death. Here's the highlights. Macy's, the first shot sets him on fire. Nope, it's the second one. And it's the first one.
I think first.
That first one just sets him on fire and he just burns. He misses with the second. And
No. He got connected 2 times, but he was burning all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why he lost 1100 from 2 shots.
And this is where Milos was able to farm all these damage from in that middle area of the courtyard. Finally, Utopia getting a bit of courtyard control. Not something they've ever had previously. They've had E100s getting caught out in the middle. They've had other tanks getting caught out in the middle.
But that's always in attack, mate. This was defense.
This is defense.
Although they
matter,
attacked,
yeah.
this was defense. So we will see, can they do the same in attack now and survive the courtyard control then?
Yes, can Utopia survive another round of Himmelsdorf, or are they going to let the Wild Bunch get back into it and potentially have this match go all the way on to a tiebreaker?
They've done it once.
Yeah, indeed. It could be entirely possible. Now, how do you see this one going yourself?
I would like to see the tank lineups first, and then I'm going to tell you. And tank players, possibly.
I know the players. I know there's substitutions going in for the team once again on Utopia's side. Tank lineups, Mojo. Now, who do you think's going to win it?
Well, oh dear. Well, Utopia has a fairly standard lineup for attack there. So does Valbach in defense, so nothing really quirky to talk about here. E5 can be used in the defense. We said a lot of times on E5, on A5. But if Utopia is playing with those substitutions again, with a lot of them, it's going to be really hard to come to the victory. Maybe if they balance it a bit, you know, so they can have some kind of input and covering material.
So, with regards to substitutions, Vilke is back up. He's swapped with Forbidden. And Be Yourself is now in place of Mucka. So 2 substitutions again for Utopia, swapping out or rotating 2 players in their lineup. And we have Vilke is going to be in the AMX 1390, and Be Yourself is going to be in one of the 50Bs for Utopia. Milos once again in the 113. Interesting that they're swapping out players like this, and that the Wild Bunch are just sticking to their completely standard player set.
Well, I don't think Wild Bunch even has something out of that player set because they've been playing with these guys all the time. Maybe once or twice they had like one guy stepping in, but more or less this is what they played the entire season with. And the game is finally on.
The game is afoot as we jump into the action here on Himmelsdorf. It's round number 2. This is map number 3. In this exchange between these 2 teams, Wild Bunch were able to take the first round of each of the 2 previous matches, with Utopia coming back and winning the second round of each match. Now Utopia have taken the first round on this map. Will they also take the second round, Mojo?
Utopia playing super aggressive there, coming toward the 8 line and crossing on the hill. It will be quite peculiar. Can they even manage to go there without any significant damages? And Dudolino is taking a shot while they're passing through. Wow, what a gangster shot. I will need to see who actually did it. It's probably Milos.
They're getting shots into Agorne. Milos got a shot in. Milos took a shot back in return. Mr. Kella is now sitting there. He can perhaps get a shot. He looks like it went a long distance trying to get one of the tanks to rush back. But they're going into the cap circle. They're going to continue actually wrapping around. They're going to try and get Agorne and Valde here. Vilke's going to stop in the cap circle for additional pressure. Shoku took a lot of shots there. He took a crossfire from Valder and from Agorne. As Bihu and Shoku going to jump onto Agorne. Agorne's trying to get another shot into Shoku. A lot of damage there onto Shoku as now he falls to Valdir. Tank for tank exchange here. Not sure if this is going to be in Wild Bunch's favour, but the cap circle's down to 36 seconds. No one can actually reset. They're going to have to rush to try and get a reset in here. Nobody's able to do this, Mojo. They don't have positioning. Perhaps Dudolino can do it at the back.
Super aggressive play here, and finally the resets came in because the HP exchange started to dwindle toward the Wild Bunch favor now. So the cap now is not an issue anymore. Even Dudolino will be there on time. Now this is all about the fighting. Now Valtteri is left pretty much alone there against a lot of guys from Utopia. Mr. Kela, he will face Milos one-on-one, and I don't think he will do well.
Milos is going to do one-on-one with Mr. Kela. It's a good ram. It gets him side on there as we see that up the top there, the E5 of Valdir's getting boxed in by the other tanks. Diablo's going to come round, but he gets shot in the face by Mr. Kela. Says, hey, stay out of our fights, me and Milos, mate. Now, Utopia don't have a lot of health left, Mojo. I think they're going to lose this one.
Oh, Milos just got wrecked. He just got wrecked. He even didn't pen a shot on Mr. Kela, and Mr. Kela survived there like a boss and practically killed two of them. So Wild Bunch with that E5 anchored in a corner, Valdir, they came to a victory. Valdir shooting that Bachat in the back all the time, finishing off Shuku was really one of the key moments because they didn't have any strength left in that middle street on 5 line to deal with anyone coming there. Someone like Mr. Kela. So decent game here by the Wild Bunch without any big panic. It was really high aggression from Utopia, and it even looked in one moment that they might cap.
Bihu just running out the time at the moment. Time for Utopia to talk amongst themselves and work out just what they did wrong there. Obviously, their focus fire when he went into that cap rush was pretty rubbish, to be honest. Bihu just doing the... He's managed to get away from Kiki Meerkat. Diddleino, he's going to drive round into Diddleino. He's not facing him. I mean, Diddleino proxy spots him. He's just going to stop and turn around here, hide round the corner.
But Dudo, he needs to do a high roll to actually kill Bihu.
He misses with the first one. He gets him with the second one. Bihu kills him. Now where's Bihu going to go? He's going to go up on the hill, carry on there. Kiki might get round the corner in time, but is very slow. He's a 50B. He doesn't have a great power to weight ratio for climbing up hills quickly. Bihu is aiming down that way. Is he going to turn and go down the right road? I think he is. He's thinking about it. I mean, he doesn't know if there's anyone waiting on the hill, but there is Mr. Kela waiting on him. And Mr. Kela takes a shot. One shot, one kill. And there we go. 3-3 all squared.
Wow. Surprise.
Could have had a quick match here, but no! Utopia and Wild Bunch are going to be potentially going all the way into mines.
Very challenging game here. Let's see, maybe we will see Be Yourself or HunterZo doing those boosts.
Yes,
like
if
a
they
boss
can just come in, do the boost. We won't mention anyone who fails boosts, but it's big pressure on them. Can he just come in, do it at the moment it counts, or they even get in the lineups? Or will Utopia say, well, perhaps we would like to win this one just for extra points, and not everyone can see what happened to the Wild Bunch?
I don't know. My crystal ball died. My eyes also died in one moment, so I don't even know what I'm seeing anymore.
Let's have a look at the post-battle stats. Who do you think is going to be top damage before they come up, Mojo?
It's not Milos, he got wrecked. So one of the guys, maybe Bihu.
Mr. Kela?
Maybe even Valdir. Mr. Kela and Valdir. Nice.
Mr. Kela surviving there in that brawl. That was brilliant when the X50B poked his head around the corner. He just went, pow! Stay with this fight. Valdir second top. So 3 out of the top 4 all coming from the Wild Bunch, but then the rest actually coming from Utopia, but the damage is fairly even from that stage onwards, from position 4 downwards.
Yeah, but now when we come to page 2, there will be a significant HP lacking from the remainder of their team.
Yeah, big, massive gap in the team. Now, as we get ready to play here on Mines, we still have the highlights to watch here for this map on Himmelsdorf. Talk us through this one, Mojo.
This is one of the crucial moments here because that aggressive rush had a price to it. We see that Agorni didn't die. He did one more shell to Shuku, which actually enabled Valdir to finish him off, which was a good focus by the Wild Bunch. L-Train here going at this crossfire, that was really reckless, and he actually brought the Wild Bunch in danger there. But Kela brought a really good decision here. He killed the 50B, and I mean, Milos not penning him one-on-one. Milos got wrecked, and that was pretty much it for Utopia at that moment.
Yeah, but that was Papa Powin and Vilki trying to go across there to keep Valdir out of the battle, but they didn't take him down quick enough, and they got himself then just caught in the crossfire. Finally, Bihu gets dropped in that battle. He's the only one left as Mr. Kela gets the shot there at the end. Now, as we're getting ready to go into mines, let's have a look at the lineups here for both teams. And I can tell you once again, Mojo, that there is a substitution in the teams for Utopia, as Be Yourself is now dropping out the team and Mucka is going back up into the team.
I guess We are going back to the old board with the Utopia that will possibly have a lead, but they are playing mines in attack, and they are playing with artillery even. Not something that you see often from them, but Valbunch playing that old defense with E100 and Grille and artillery.
So the E100, as Daki would say, is that going to be parked underneath the mountain?
There is simply nowhere else to place that tank.
Okay.
Like that, it has to go there. And Grille is on K4, so you have Bachats for any rotations that can go and they can climb, and TVP just for some cover fire.
TVP is going into the middle then, yeah?
TVP can be even in some bush below the hill. Like he can be there, or he can even do the minor boost on the middle mountain so he can snipe someone climbing.
Okay, well, let's find out how these tanks are going to be used. Utopia on the attack, Wild Bunch on the defense, all squared. We're going into mines. And here we go. So we can see Papa Powin in the artillery. That is a scary sight, as to see Diplomat in artillery as well.
Papa on steps, probably even better success ratio than Diplo, honestly. Like we've seen
Terrifying on steps.
he has a good eye how to catch and where to position that aim there. Well, there we go. Some boost here by Bihu. But Phenomenal and Mr. Kela, they're doing what the Valbunch did several times already. They're trying to dominate this side, but they already got spotted here. Shuku already knows where they are, and the two Bachats here, at the moment, they might even be cut off. But Diebel, what's going on?
Diebel got wrecked by artillery, it would appear to be.
Not only Arti, I think that was multiple shots. Maybe even by Grille or Agorni,
now,
one of them.
When you were pointing out the positioning here from the two Bachats, they did something similar like this with tier 9 Bachats and got wrecked at the start. Now Muka and Vilki are taking crossfire, coming around trying to get them because Mr. Kella and Phenomenal split up. You also have L-Train Kiki Meerkat over there as well. This is a bit of a bait and trap, and Utopia have swallowed a hook. Mr. Kella, Phenomenal, the first one to die here for the Wild Bunch, but Utopia have taken a lot of damage trying to clear him out, and they've lost Vilki and they've lost Shoku doing so.
It's not only that, these guys have no way out to go now because E100 is there in the middle of them. So there is no running away from that little village. They will be left with what they have outside of that. So Papavian better perform some miracles here.
Muka able to get a kill there before he goes down. Now, Wild Bunch have lost 3 tanks, as have Utopia. It's all a case of who can do the best clear up here. Milos is stuck in this little village on his own. He's going to chase down Agorni and do as much damage as he can at this stage. He might get able to get a final shot in, but Kiki Meerkat is lurking behind him in the E100. Papa Powin is on reload. He's not going to be able to do anything. Valder has also moved up into this village, and Milos's days are numbered.
I mean, he really needs some help from his teammates. So guys, help. Bihu and Diebel. No, Milos is dead.
Kiki Meerkat getting the kill there as we see Diablo and Bihu getting shots in. They have to be careful because any minute now artillery is going to come over if Diablo is spotted, which he is. They're relying on artillery not being reloaded as he turns and runs. Dudilino is on a reload, so he fired and missed from the looks of it. Utopia down to 3 tanks. Wild Bunch have 4 tanks, each side both including an artillery in that. It's not looking good for Utopia right now.
It's not over if they actually kill Agorni. Agorni is the only mobile tank they have, and Diebel now has a chance to do it, but he's taking a shell, and Valdir can actually end him now, but he misses. Wow. So, if Agorni dies, there are still 2 Bachats from Scratch Bihu. Never mind, I forget what I said.
That's it. Game over. Wild Bunch should be able to seal this one out quite comfortably. They have 4 tanks left, and I mean, Diablo might kill Dudlino, but I think he may get shotgunned in the face here, as he does. Papow! Right into that one. All we have left is Papa Powin in the artillery. It's 1 artillery against 4, including an almost full health E100. Utopia, what are you guys doing right now?
Well, we are looking the ending moments of this first game on Mines here. And maybe we will even see a tiebreaker here. Oh wow, what a surprise. Because here when Papa Pavian finally decides to die. The Wild Bunch will be in attack, Utopia in defense, and if they do another shift in the lineup, well, we know how that goes.
Valdur killing Agorni there with a team kill at the end.
Well, at least everyone is happy on there.
Yeah, I'm glad they're all having fun right now. It's certainly an interesting second last match of the day, of the season, in fact, for normal play. Now, Wild Bunch go ahead against Utopia here 4-3. For some reason in my head, I'm pretty sure it's going to go 4-4 here and then go into tiebreaker, and then who knows what happens in tiebreaker.
Who knows? Probably again 5-4 for Utopia, but never mind that. We will have to see when that time comes. What can we say about this game? It was messy and Bihu crashed his neck falling down from a mountain. Beside that, almost normal game.
Let's have a look at the stats for the damage done in this battle, see who came out on top. It is going to be Argorni from the Wild Bunch, then Diablo from Utopia, but then the next two coming out from the Wild Bunch, including their artillery, but not a lot of damage done by any single player really, Mojo.
No,
a lot of it spread across the team.
It was a fight all over the place there, and most of the budgets from Utopia that were on hill were pretty much cut off from the battle most of the time when it mattered. After that, it really was not concerned anymore. I mean, honestly, if Bihu didn't die there, and if the Evil played a bit better with that budget, I really think they had a chance to actually win that game if they wanted. Killing Agorni was the only thing they needed to do, because then they would deal with Arti and just cut off Grille and E100.
Caster Curse and Papa Powen, however. Yeah, look at Papa Powen and artillery. He's really scary to play against. 5 shots, 120 damage.
I don't think he expected a fight in a village, so he would have to reposition to shoot there. And most of the battle, he had no angles to shoot anywhere, because it was all behind the hill and behind houses.
Yep, so at this stage, we've already lost Vilki. Shoku now drops. Phenomenal's already been dropped on the Wild Bunch. I mean, Wild Bunch already in control at this stage. Utopia could have pulled it back slightly, but Agorni gets the kill there on Muka, and that's pretty much the decisive blow.
I think here, before Bihu fell like this and Evil took this shot needlessly, Utopia could have actually won this easy. Although they had less HP, it's just an E100 and Grilla, and they were cut off in a village. So working together with Arti and with two budgets rotating, climbing and doing whatnot, they would just end the game.
And Bihu should know better than that. Going down at that area, it's not a safe area you can realistically go down. You're going to take damage. It was a desperation move.
Things happen.
Yes. Now let's have a look at the lineups going into round 2, where I'm pretty sure Utopia's going to win this and take it 4-4. But hey, surprises could happen and the Wild Bunch could win 5-3 right now. Anything standing out in the lineups, Mojo?
No, Wild Bunch has a Ru in attack, so that's some kind of offensive spot they want to do. Will it be for the water, where they really like to go a lot, or just going for the hill with entire force? We will see in a couple of seconds. Utopia playing with Object 140, that's an interesting one.
The Object 140 is not something we normally see in Utopia, yes, especially, oh, not something we see on Mines, never mind Utopia. How's that going to be used, Mojo?
Well, mainly you would just push with the rest of the forces and he would be below the hill, but since they have an M40 RT, I'm not sure, because they have 4 budgets. They actually have enough forces to push the hill.
Well, let's go into the battle and find out exactly where this Object 140 is going to go. As Utopia are on the defense, the Wild Bunch lead them 4-3 here, with the Wild Bunch attacking, and the Wild Bunch are all going for the 1-2 line, Mojo.
Well, that Ru is self-explained. As we expected, it's aggressive push there, and he will give them eyes to see what's going on there. But Utopia also, most of them are heading right there.
Mucka going for the climb and making an absolute mucka mess of it. Vilki getting shot as they go across there, 714 damage. Substitutions again in from Utopia as we see Hunter Zord in the team.
At the moment, really aggressive approach from Wild Bunch here, and they barely got even grazed for the effort. Normally they should take at least half HP when they're crossing there, but no, not this time. And there is now crossfire coming in from the Wild Bunch toward Utopia, but some of them are really carelessly wasting HP to those trench-trapped budgets.
So Vilki's taking a lot of damage there. He's on 293 health. He's a one-shot for anyone in the Wild Bunch, but the Wild Bunch are taking damage across the board wholesale. Phenomenal does get that kill onto Vilki, But Dudalino's got a huge amount of damage against him. So has Phenomenal, so has Kiki, so has Agorne. Now, Mr. Kella and Valder are going to get the drop onto Milos, who's caught out on the open here, just opposite the entrance to the hill. Kiki Meerkat finally gets the kill into Bihu. Milos is going to be the next one to fall. For Utopia, the Wild Bunch in control here. They might actually take this one 5-3, Mojo. There shouldn't be any reason how they can lose this one from here.
The Wild Bunch is in big advantage at the moment. We've seen them do this kind of attack even last time. It didn't go well for them. Even one of those 1-1-3s that you see freely roaming around the middle now. Mr. Kella and Valdir took almost 2000 HP. They're back from artillery, who was positioned exactly where Papa Pavian is. But no punishment this time, and Utopia is melting away, and they will pretty much fade away in a couple of seconds. That will still leave them second in a league, but this match didn't have to really end this way, I guess.
So there we go, Wild Bunch defeating Utopia 5-3.